one of the things that has really been seared into my mind and into my heart throughout this process is that Christianity, this religion, this faith, is not a set of propositions to be accepted. It is a path that you walk, or it's a story that you live. You referred to James. Faith without works is dead. And when we hear the Bible say, believe in your heart and confess with your mouth, in our sort of Western way of thinking, we, I think, interpret that as think that it's true. You have to think that it's true. And I really don't think that is how Jesus' audience would have received that. So we need to be mindful of that. And, you know, the intellectual assent is necessary because you do have to confess with your mouth, right? But, you know, clearly that's not enough. There were people in the Bible who praised God with their lips, but not with their actions. And I think that this parable illustrates that powerfully. This is in Matthew 21. Jesus says, "What do you think? A man had 2 sons. He went to the first and said, 'Son, go and work in the vineyard today.' And he answered, 'I will not.' But afterward he changed his mind and went. And he went to the other son and said the same. And he answered, 'I go, sir,' but did not go. Which of the 2 did the will of his father?" And the people he was talking to, they said, "The first." Jesus said to them, "Truly I say to you, the tax collectors and the prostitutes go into the kingdom of God before you." Lord, let us not fall into the trap of saying, "I go, sir," when we're all in church together and we're all hyped up by the music and we feel the peace and comfort that our faith community brings to us, and then step out into the world and do nothing. It is, I think, as if the one who did not say, "I go," but did the things is more of a Christian. So it's not a series of propositions. This comes to bear on our evangelism as well. And I've been working through some ideas about evangelism, which might come up in an article sometime in the future. When we're evangelizing, we're trying to get the unbeliever to say, "Yes, Christ is Lord." Again, that's necessary. But Jesus called us to make disciples. He called us to bring people into the fold, to bring people into the kingdom of God. That is to say, to live under God's authority, right? To sit under Jesus' teaching and call him master. Not just to say, yeah, like I adopt that opinion. That's not what this is all about.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that is the trap that we have fallen into, I think, in the Western world, the United States specifically, of how we view Christianity. And, you know, when we set out on this course with Innerfire, with the podcast, you know, my goal, long-term 20-year vision would be, let's change the perception of Christianity in the U.S. from people who give intellectual assent to an idea to people who actually live out a belief system in their actions. You know, what we do actually reflects what we believe a lot more than what we say, as in the parable that you just mentioned. Mm-hmm. You know, so if we want to know what we believe, look at what we do. Mm-hmm. That is a much better reflection than what we utter with our lips, because the heart is very deceitful. And
well, you'll know them by their fruits, right?
Yeah, and we can be deceived into thinking that we are something that we are not. And so we need to examine ourselves to see whether or not we be in the faith. You know, as I believe Paul exhorted his listeners. And so, yeah, very good words there.